Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome to another film review. Tonight we're looking at a Hammer film. I did say to you that I want to start looking through a few of the Hammer movies because I absolutely love them, and it's sort of like one of the it's almost like its own sort of genre, the Hammer film. It really is. It's kind of like people say, oh, I love Hammer movies. It's almost created its own sort of genre. And the Hammer films were really popular in the sort of 50s, 60s and early 70s. So we're going to look at one tonight, and an absolute gem of a film. We're looking at Christopher Lee starring in The Scars of Dracula, starring Christopher Lee and a very young Dennis Waterman. Now this is I love this film. It's a very sort of it's a bit of a gem of one. It's one of those Marmite ones. You'll either love it or hate it, and I love it because it's got a sense of sort of humour behind it. It's quite comical at times, very carry-ons even sometimes, but that I love too because it brings a certain sort of different feel to the other sort of Dracula films that came before this. So yeah, Christopher Lee dons his cape again and returns as Dracula in this film, and it starts off hysterically with this bat that looks like you buy from a toy shop, dangling over him, and he wakes up and he's coughing and goes and peers out the window, because it starts off as you see Dracula's cape and it's just like powder on the blood, bit like Taste the Blood of Dracula. And this bat flies in and sort of drips blood from his mouth, and it lands on the powder, and we see the transformation of this powder into the wonderful Count Dracula. So Dracula has arisen, and it hasn't gone long, and we see a guy walking through the woods with a dead body with bite marks there, a young girl, and then we get our title screen, Scars of Dracula. Anyway, he goes wandering off down to the pub, as you do with your dead body, and he takes it into the pub, and he and shows everyone in the pub. I've got some English actors in there, Michael Ripper, and all these great sort of wonderful sort of traditional Hammer actors are in this pub. And the landlord said, right, that's it, we need to go and sort this out. We need to sort it out tonight. And the vicar said, no, don't. It's just going to cause more trouble than it's worth. So he said, no, we need to do it. So the vicar says, okay, I'll come with you. Oh, it's just brilliant. Anyway, so they all go tromping up the hill to the castle. We see this painted castle, which is amazing, and they all go tromping up there with their sticks and their fire and stuff like that. And we see them all going towards this castle. And then they arrive at the castle, and he just rings the bell, the landlord, and it would get answered by the servant of Dracula, who's played by the guy that played the priest in The Omen. He plays the servant in this. And he goes, oh, I'm on my own, let me in, because everyone else is hiding behind these plastic rocks. And he opens the door, and they all come steaming through the castle, and they all start setting all the windows on fire, and, throwing bricks through the window, and putting sort of oil through the window and setting it on fire, and the guy goes, oh, you'll pay for this. And meanwhile upstairs, our bat is there with Dracula. Dracula's fast asleep, and our bat is sort of like almost sort of like trying to psychopathically tell him what's going on down below. And then the bat goes off, and we see them all still setting fire to the castle, and they all seem very happy with what they've done. So off they steam back towards the village, and they bump into the priest who's standing by. God said, oh, this is the Lord looking after us. We must celebrate. Let's go and tell all our loved ones that they are all safe, because they've told all the women to go into the church and wait there while they go and do this deed of burning down the castle. Anyway, they arrive at the church, and all the women are dead. They've all been killed, and there's blood up the walls. There's blood dripping down the candles. There's blood on their faces. There's scratches. There's scars. There's blood. There's bitings all over their bodies. There's one with an eye down here. Very gory little scene where we see all the women in the village have been killed. And the priest goes, "Oh, the devil has won." And so we then cut to like... I don't think it's not the future. We just cut to another part of the film where we meet Dennis Waterman, and he's with his girlfriend at a birthday party that he's organised. And they're celebrating her birthday, and he's made this sort of big party for her. And then he goes and gives her like this ring. I think he wants to marry her, but she seems to be in love with his brother called Paul. Now we get to meet Paul as well. Paul's at another place with another girl in bed. And so he leaves her after waking up and after doing his deed with her or whatever. And he wants to go off. So she's really upset with him because he's going, and she thinks he's off to see another woman. And he lies to say, "I'm going to night school to learn." And we're not. He's going to his brother's girlfriend's party. So anyway, he goes to leave, and her dad comes in, and she lies to him, said, "Oh, he's broken in, Dad. He broke through the window. He tried to get his wicked way with me," and all this. So anyway, so her dad sort of grabs him, but he sort of shoves him away and goes out and gets his guards to chase him down. Said, "You'll go to prison for this," and all this sort of thing. And the girl's all smiling, happy, thinking, "Yeah, I'll get my revenge on you." Anyway, so he's being chased by these two guards. We then return to the party, and Dennis Waterman there's with his girlfriend and that, and she's talking to him about how she fancies Paul, and Paul turns up, and he gives her a present, a sort of like this sort of photo frame with a picture of her in it and stuff like that. And she's over the moon with it, and you can see Dennis Waterman very sort of like very distressed and sort of jealous about it. And then the two guards turn up from the house looking for him, and he goes and jumps through the window and lands into a stagecoach parked down below. And the stagecoach with the horses all then zoom off. And off we go. So it's very carry-on sort of slapstick stuff going on. And so he zooms off on his stagecoach, which he can't stop. He does try to stop, and in the end he ends up falling off it. And he goes wandering around to the small town, this small village. This is the village where the pub was at the beginning of the film, where the girl's been killed by the vampire. Anyway, so he goes in, and he sort of introduces himself to the barmaid who's upstairs, because he's looking for somewhere to stay. He's knocked the door, no one's answered. And she said, "Well, you know, there's nothing I can do about it." And there's that attraction straight away, because he's a bit of a womanizer, this Paul. And he's flirting with her, and she's sort of liking it. And he goes, "Oh, I have to go to the castle then if I've got no..." "Oh, you can't go there, especially at night. Wait there, I'll see what I can do." So she comes down, undoes her top, and then she sort of like comes down to him, and they're both jibber jabbing and chatting each other up, and they start kissing. And then her dad, the barkeeper, comes down and catches him, and then sort of throws him out. And he goes, "Oh, I hope I get better treated at the castle." And he goes wandering off towards the castle. But on his way there, he sees this stagecoach. And he thinks, "Oh, I'll just go in there and have a little kip," as you do. So he gets in the stagecoach. And as he's starting to fall asleep, the manservant of Dracula comes back with a dead animal that he's caught, and he's got in the stagecoach, and off they go to the castle. And he arrives at the castle, and that's all I'm going to tell you. So is he going to become one of Dracula's minions? Or what is going to happen in this film? You need to watch it and find out. What do I think of Scars of Dracula? It's great fun. It's a great fun Hammer horror film. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Obviously the actors do, but it doesn't take itself too seriously. It misses Peter Cushing as Val Helsing in the film, but it's of its time, and it was good fun. and it does have that sort of comical feeling about it, but it does sort of get a bit dark at times and serious later on in the film, and there is some quite good gore in there, and there's also a brilliant rubber bat. You know, it's fantastic. The pluses of this edition by Studio Canal 4K, it looks amazing. I do have this in my DVD Hammer Collection box set, but it deserves an upgrade. I've upgraded quite a few of my Hammer films lately. That's why I want to bring some of them to your channel, so I can show you some clips of the restoration of it and what it looks like now. And as you can see, it looks really vibrant and really cool. They've done a great job of sort of like making it look amazing. The acting is fantastic. It's typical camp, silly Hammer acting, you know, and Christopher Lee is wonderful as Dracula. So I'm going to score the film a great watch and give it a 8 out of 10. I think that's really, really kind. I was thinking of a 7, but no, I'm going to be really kind and give it an 8 out of 10 because I did really enjoy it. It's really cool fun. I've not seen it for years. It's been in my box set, you know, blow the dust off it, you know. Don't blow too hard because it might wake Dracula up. But yeah, it's great to watch it again. This has got the Blu-ray and DVD in it. It's a double play set. Extra features in here. There's a new featurette, Blood Rites Inside the Scars of Dracula, and the original trailer. That's what you get in their special features. So that's okay. You're not going to get a lot of special features on these sort of Hammer films, because they speak for themselves. But I would love some of these to have some commentaries. Now, coming up on my channel, I'm going to be doing, at last, my top 10 favourite Hammer horror movies. I've been putting it off for such a long time because there's just so many that I love, and just so many. I had to sit down with them all laid out and just think, and I got down to sort of about 15 to 16 that I loved. Then I had to try and organise them into what is my ultimate favourite Hammer film and work down. So that's what I've done. That's how I managed to get it. So that's coming soon on my channel. But to keep your appetite whet for that, I thought I'd give you a little review of The Scars of Dracula. 8 out of 10. Any of you guys seen it? If you have, let me know down below what you think of it. Hammer film, you're just going to have a good night, aren't you? You're just going to have an entertainment. You're going to have British horror in its finest hour, if you like, back in that day. Don't get me wrong, I love British horrors now. I think they're much better now than the Hammer films. But in the day, that was it. You know, I remember when I was quite young, I won't tell you too many stories because I try and keep them for my Hammer top 10 horror. But yeah, I used to watch them when I was young with a drink of Coke and that. Everyone in bed, I used to come down, watch telly, turn the sound down and sit and watch a Hammer film if one was coming on. And there's a few of those classic ones from my sort of time doing that in my top 10. And they've squeezed in the top 10 just because of that. Not because they were good films as such, but because of the memory that they bring me. So that they're in there. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this. Until your next video, check out some spooky horror channels for me. Check out Horror Hands, the Horror Geek Man v Film, RS Designs, Pizzawell, I'm Ice Lord, Cat Watches Horror Movies, Grumpy Andrew's Haunted House. I believe he's done quite a few reviews of Hammer films, so go and check his channel out. His reviews are 20 times better than my pathetic reviews, but watch his, because he's masterful at reviews and I'm just clumsy and messing around. But go and check him out. And also, massive shout out to the lad. Till next time, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope I'll see you all soon.